The Washington Post has reported that Secretary of War Pete Hegseth invited controversial preacher Doug Wilson to the Pentagon. I don't know how this hasn't made national headlines, but this decision deserves the utmost scrutiny. Wilson is not just an obscure local pastor, he is a nationally known writer and commentator who has made a number of highly controversial public statements over the years. In his 1996 book, Southern Slavery as It Was, he wrote, as I quote, "Slavery as it existed in the South was not an adversarial relationship with pervasive racial animosity. Because of its dominantly patriarchal character, it was a relationship based upon mutual affection and confidence. There has never been a multiracial society which has existed with such mutual intimacy and harmony in the history of the world." In a 2012 blog post, almost a full 100 years after women were given the right to vote, he wrote, "In a perfect society, women would not have the right to vote." He has also argued that the Confederacy was not a racist organization, and he has repeatedly defended the revisionist South and the idea of how the Confederacy operated. These aren't just offhand paraphrased remarks, these are direct quotes and positions which he has publicly defended and debated, and which he wrote himself. So the Pentagon, let's talk about this. The Pentagon is the headquarters of the United States Department of Defense. It represents a military composed of men, women, and people of any racial background or of any political belief. It is one of the most symbolically neutral institutions in the federal government, one of the most nonpartisan institutions in the federal government. And when someone with a documented history of sharply polarizing statements, especially about race, gender, and American history, when he's invited to the Pentagon to speak, it's reasonable to ask whether that choice reflects proper institutional judgment. And the issue isn't that about his views, because technically he has a right to his views, but the issue is about elevating a figure associated with those views to speak inside of one of the country's most unifying national institutions. And it serves, to ask the question, is that in the best interests of cohesion, professionalism, and public trust? And I think that's a question that needs to be asked.